I gave up my career at 28 to support my husband's dreams. At 30, I found him in my bed with my best friend. But that part comes later. Let me tell you how I became just a housewife. 7 years ago, I was a marketing manager at a fast-growing company in Chicago. I had my own team, my own office, my own paycheck. I loved what I did. That was before Daniel came home one night with a wild idea. "I'm starting my own tech company," he said, eyes glowing with ambition. "But I need you with me." I believed in him. He said it would only be temporary, just until we're stable, he promised. "You're better at strategy than anyone I know." So I resigned. I told myself it was romantic, building a future together. I handled his branding, his pitches, his investor decks, and when our daughter Lily was born, I stepped back even further. "I'll manage the home," I told him. "You focus on growing the company." At first, he thanked me. He'd kiss my forehead and say, "I couldn't do this without you." But success changes people. 3 years later, Daniel's startup exploded. New car, new suits, new friends. He started coming home later. Business dinners, networking events, important meetings. I didn't question it. I trusted him. And Sarah, my best friend since college, was always around. She would come over with wine, sit at my kitchen counter. "You're so lucky," she'd say. "Daniel adores you." I believed her too. Looking back now, the signs were there. Daniel began locking his phone. He took calls outside. He started criticizing me. "You've changed, Emily," he said one night. "You don't take care of yourself like you used to." I was raising our child, managing our home, supporting his empire. But somehow, I wasn't enough. The night everything shattered was my 35th birthday. Daniel told me he had a late investor dinner. Sarah insisted she'd come over to keep me company. But an hour before she arrived, she texted, "Emergency. Rain check." I should have known. Around 9:30 p.m., Lily was asleep. I sat alone with a half-melted cake and dying candles. Something inside me felt wrong. I don't know why I did it. Maybe intuition. Maybe desperation. But I drove to Daniel's office. The lights were off. No cars in the parking lot. My heart started pounding. I told myself I was being dramatic. Then I remembered something. Daniel had installed a remote home security app on my phone years ago. Just for emergencies. With shaking hands, I opened it. The living room camera showed nothing unusual. But when I switched to the hallway camera, the bedroom door was closed. And I heard it. Through the tiny microphone. Laughter. A woman's laughter. Soft, familiar. My blood ran cold. I drove home so fast I barely remember the streets. The house lights were dim. The front door was unlocked. I stepped inside quietly. And there it was again. That laugh. Coming from my bedroom. My hands trembled as I walked down the hallway. Each step felt like walking toward my own execution. I reached the door. It was slightly open. And through that small crack, I saw them. Daniel. And Sarah. In my bed. In the sheets I had washed that morning. For a second, I couldn't breathe. My ears rang. My body went numb. Daniel looked up first. His face drained of color. "Emily." Sarah gasped and grabbed the blanket. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just stood there, watching my entire life collapse in silence. 7 years of sacrifice. Gone. 7 years of loyalty. Gone. And do you know what hurt the most? It wasn't just the betrayal. It was the realization. While I was building his dream, they were destroying mine. Daniel finally stood up. "Emily, this isn't what it looks like." The oldest lie in history. Sarah couldn't even meet my eyes. I felt something inside me shift. Not heartbreak, not rage. Something colder. Something final. I looked at him, really looked at him. And for the first time in years, I saw a stranger. That was the night I stopped being his wife. But I didn't know yet that losing me would be the biggest mistake of his life. And I had no idea. He was about to say something that would change everything. Something that would turn this betrayal into my revenge story.